Imagine a world where ordering a product took a split second, yet paying for it required a week-long journey of paper and patience. This was the reality of the late 1990s. The internet had revolutionized communication, but banking remained stubbornly stuck in the physical world. To buy something on eBay, you didn't click a button. You wrote a personal check, licked a stamp, and walked to a mailbox. The digital economy was trying to sprint, but the financial system was tying its shoelaces. Information moved at the speed of light, while money moved at the speed of a mail truck. It was a glaring paradox waiting to be shattered. Into this friction stepped a group of outsiders who asked a dangerous question. If money is just a ledger entry, why can't we email it? They stripped away the vault doors and teller lines, proposing that an email address was the only account number you needed. The banking establishment was horrified. They viewed the internet as a lawless frontier, arguing that transferring funds without physical verification was an invitation to fraud. They insisted that security required bureaucracy. But the founders of PayPal realized that in a digital world, complexity wasn't a feature, it was a bug. They bet everything on the belief that convenience would outweigh the fear of the unknown. PayPal found its lifeline by latching onto a giant host, eBay. While the auction site was booming, its payment infrastructure was practically non-existent. PayPal didn't ask for permission, they aggressively infiltrated the platform. They targeted power sellers, convincing them that digital payments meant faster deals and higher bids. It was a viral stroke of genius. Every time a seller accepted PayPal, they forced buyers to sign up, creating an unstoppable network effect. They turned eBay's own user base into their marketing team. By the time eBay management realized their platform had been colonized, PayPal wasn't just a tool, it was the preferred currency of the internet auction world. However, speed has a price. As PayPal expanded, it painted a target on its back for international crime rings. The very frictionlessness that delighted users became a playground for fraudsters. Russian hackers and credit card thieves began draining the company's accounts, exploiting the system's openness. PayPal was bleeding millions of dollars a month, losing money on every transaction. The bank's earlier mockery turned into a grim reality. The startup was being eaten alive by fraud. They were completely unprepared. It became an existential race. Could they build a digital immune system to stop the thieves before the losses drove them into bankruptcy? The company didn't just survive, it evolved. Engineers worked around the clock to create a revolutionary fraud detection system that tracked human behavior rather than just numbers. They stopped the bleeding and proved that code could outsmart crime. The victory was absolute. eBay, having tried and failed to build its own competitor, finally surrendered. They acquired PayPal for $1.5 billion. The startup that banks laughed at had not only survived the Wild West of the internet, it had paved the roads. The experiment was over. The new financial standard was set. But the sale to eBay wasn't an ending, it was a dispersion. The culture inside PayPal had been a pressure cooker of intensity and intellectual combat, completely incompatible with corporate bureaucracy. As these restless innovators departed, they didn't retire. They took their capital and their battle-hardened experience to seed the next generation of Silicon Valley. This group, known as the PayPal Mafia, went on to found Tesla, SpaceX, LinkedIn, YouTube, Yelp, and Palantir. The company had inadvertently become the most effective entrepreneurship school in history. They didn't just build a payment processor, they built the architects of the modern digital world. PayPal proves that the biggest opportunities often lie in the most mundane frustrations. While established giants focused on protecting their physical vaults, PayPal focused on the user experience. They didn't just invent a payment tool, they dismantled the psychological barrier between money and data. Today, we tap our phones and watch numbers move instantly, completely forgetting the struggle that made it possible. The true legacy of PayPal is the realization that whenever a system feels too slow or too complicated, it is ripe for disruption. They taught the world that money is ultimately just information, and information is meant to flow.